the Stanislav Petrov incident, occurring on the 26th of September 1938, stands as a pivotal moment in Cold War history. This narrative unfolds against a backdrop of heightened tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union, with both nations poised on the brink of nuclear conflict. Petrov's decisive actions during a critical false alarm prevented a potentially catastrophic escalation, when the Soviet nuclear early warning system reported the launch of intercontinental ballistic missiles from the United States. Heightened tensions. As the 1980s dawned, Cold War tensions reached a fevered pitch. Responding to the Soviet Union's deployment of 14 SS-20 RSD-10 theatre nuclear missiles, the NATO double-track decision was taken in December of 1979 to deploy 108 Pershing II nuclear missiles in Western Europe, with the ability to hit targets in eastern Ukraine, Belarus or Lithuania within 10 minutes, and the longer range, but slower, BGM-109G ground-launched cruise missile to strike potential targets farther to the east. This, coupled with US psychological operations testing Soviet radar capabilities, fueled paranoia within the Soviet leadership. From the accounts of CIA and senior KGB officers, by May 1981, obsessed with historical parallels with the 1941 German invasion and the Reaganite rhetoric, and with no defensive capability against the Pershing IIs, Soviet leaders believed the United States was preparing a secret nuclear attack on the USSR and initiated Operation Ryan, sought to monitor perceived US preparations for a nuclear strike. Under this, agents abroad monitored service and technical personnel who would implement a nuclear attack, so as to be able to either preempt it or have mutually assured destruction. The shootdown of Korean Airlines Flight 007 in September 1983 further heightened Soviet anxiety. Tensions were at their highest they had been since the 1960s, and the events of the Cuban Missile Crisis and the B-59 submarine incident. Shoot or be shot. On the night of the 26th of September 1983, Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov was the duty officer at the Soviet Serpukhov 15 bunker near Moscow, which housed the command center of the Soviet early warning satellites, codenamed Oko, where he was monitoring the system. Petrov's responsibilities included observing the satellite early warning network and notifying his superiors of any impending nuclear missile attack against the Soviet Union. If notification was received from the early warning systems that inbound missiles had been detected, the Soviet Union's strategy was an immediate and compulsory nuclear counterattack against the United States, specified in the doctrine of mutually assured destruction. Suddenly, the bunker's computers reported that one intercontinental ballistic missile was heading towards the Soviet Union from the United States. Petrov faced a critical decision: whether to report an incoming attack to his superiors, potentially triggering a Soviet nuclear response. Petrov considered the detection a computer error, since the first strike nuclear attack by the United States was likely to involve hundreds of simultaneous missile launches in order to disable any Soviet means of a counterattack. Furthermore, the satellite system's reliability had been questioned in the past. Amid the blaring sirens and flashing lights, Petrov's intuition and training kicked in. He dismissed the warning as a false alarm, though accounts of the event differ as to whether he notified his superiors or not after he concluded that the computer detections were false and that no missile had been launched. Petrov's suspicion that the warning system was malfunctioning was confirmed when no missile in fact arrived. Later, the computers identified 4 additional missiles in the air, all directed towards the Soviet Union. Petrov suspected that the computer system was malfunctioning again, despite having no direct means to confirm this. The Soviet Union's land radar was incapable of detecting missiles beyond the horizon. It was subsequently determined that the false alarms were caused by a rare alignment of sunlight on high-altitude clouds and the satellite's molniya orbits, an error later corrected by cross-referencing a geostationary satellite. In explaining the factors leading to his decision, Petrov cited his belief and training that any US first strike would be massive, so 5 missiles seemed an illogical start. In addition, the launch detection system was new and, in his view, not yet wholly trustworthy, while ground radar had failed to pick up corroborative evidence even after several minutes of the false alarm. Aftermath. Petrov's decision to trust his instincts rather than the technology at hand averted a potential nuclear catastrophe. In the immediate aftermath, Petrov underwent intense questioning by his superiors about his actions. Initially, he was praised for his decisions. General Yuri Votintsev, then commander of the Soviet Air Defense's military defense units, who was the first to hear Petrov's report of the incident, stated that Petrov's correct actions were duly noted. Petrov himself stated he was initially praised by Votintsev and was promised a reward, but recalled he was also reprimanded for improper filing of paperwork with a pretext that he had not described the incident in the military diary. In the end, he received no reward. According to Petrov, this was because the incident and other bugs found in the missile detection system embarrassed his superiors and the influential scientists who were responsible for it, so that if he had been officially rewarded, they would have had to be punished. He was reassigned to a less sensitive post and took an early retirement, although he emphasised that he was not forced out of the army, as is sometimes claimed by Western sources. After retiring, he suffered a nervous breakdown. However, Petrov's actions gained acknowledgement as the years passed, with numerous awards and accolades bestowed upon him for his pivotal role in preventing global catastrophe. It is interesting to note that had the false alarm been reported, then the outcome will have very likely been catastrophic. This can be deduced as a former KGB chief of foreign counterintelligence, Oleg Kalugin, who knew Soviet leader Yuri Andropov well, said that Andropov's distrust of American leaders was profound. It was conceivable that if Petrov had declared the satellite warnings valid, such an erroneous report could have provoked the Soviet leadership into becoming bellicose. Kalugin said, "The danger was in the Soviet leadership thinking, the Americans may attack, so we better attack first." The Stanislav Petrov incident underscores the unpredictable nature of nuclear brinkmanship during the Cold War. Petrov's personal courage and ability to defy protocol demonstrated the human element crucial in preventing catastrophic errors. His legacy is one of an unsung hero who, against the backdrop of political and technological tension, made a split-second decision that altered the course of history. The incident also prompted re-evaluations of nuclear policies and the reliability of early warning systems. The Stanislav Petrov incident remains a testament to the human factor in the face of technological uncertainty. Petrov's intuition and courage prevented an almost certain nuclear disaster, highlighting the fragility of global stability during the Cold War. As nations grappled with the consequences of technological fallibility, Petrov's story emerged as a beacon of hope and a stark reminder of the profound impact individual choices can have on the fate of the world. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give it a like, and for more amazing tales and thrilling stories, don't forget to subscribe to Uncovered Secrets. Also, hit the bell icon to stay notified for every release.